I have never owned a luxury vehicle, haven't even considered it, but I think it is a very stupid, not worthy investment. And it goes hand in hand with flying business class. I guess for some people, it's really important to have those extra commodities, but for me personally, it's never really meant anything for me because I don't think about the destination very much. I think about the journey, and I have been in uncomfortable situations for so long in my life that maybe I have developed a tolerance, acceptance of those things when maybe it shouldn't be a thing that's tolerated. Maybe it shouldn't be a thing that should happen. It just happens, and maybe that has forged my mentality and by extension, opinion. It affects my decisions as a consumer. But luxury high tech cars, for me, will always be a waste. And I think it goes back to the fact that the car that I owned happens to be the car that I wanted, exactly how I wanted it, with all the features that I needed, and I'm satisfied with that. And anything that I need is actually provided by a secondary device. Like, I don't need for my car to display the GPS map from my phone onto the screen. I'm okay with listening to cues that my phone sends out, listening to them, peeking at the map once to confirm, and then make my turn. I don't need all that fancy connect my phone with the map, with my actual phone, with my texting app, and all that shit. I don't need any of that. But if it exists, maybe it's because someone out there needed it, or maybe it's because they created that to see if that would make people succumb to a more expensive model or a fancier model of something. What I like to question is valuing beautiful things and comfort. And some people claim that they like to make that investment of owning a luxury vehicle because some people have long commutes and therefore they want to experience that comfort and have all that tech in their vehicle because you spend so much time there that you want to make it more bearable. And for me, comfort does not arrive in the form of my car being more high tech. I don't need to be satisfied with those things because you know what I need to be able to do when I'm driving long distance? I gotta be able to focus. I gotta have good stamina as a driver, which I do. And that's one of the reasons, honestly, why I work out so that my body performs in the manner that I need it to. And in my time having my low tech vehicle, I have never had any issues. I was able to do a 12-hour cumulative drive in one day, and I felt nothing. And I did it in that car. So the question I want to ask is, for you people, for you guys, what is a long drive? To me, a long drive begins to feel like a long drive if it exceeds 45 minutes. And the reason I say that is because within the city, I am able to go from point A to point B. And let's say that I have to go to the north side of town. The north side of town for me is 15 minutes to coming back 30 minutes. And that's within the city. If I consider a drive within the city a long drive, I think I got problems. Now, 45 minutes would be something like I'm exceeding 20 minutes to and from. That could take place within the city, but it becomes a long drive if I have to continuously drive with no interruptions, no stoplights whatsoever. And when I think about it, this 15-minute drive to and from that I'm describing cumulatively is actually possibly more like a 15-minute drive if I could drive to that spot directly. Say, no cars getting in the way, not hitting any red lights, stuff like that. So for me, a long drive becomes long when you exceed that 45-minute mark of continuous driving. I cannot say that a city that's like half an hour away from here is considered something close if I have to drive through roads where traffic is expected. Now, if I can get on the highway and it's a half-hour drive on the highway, to me, that's a short drive. Now, if I'm on the highway and I have to drive over 45 minutes, then to me, that becomes a long drive, regardless of whether it's to and from. But do I need to have high tech to fill in that time or bring me comfort? No, because I feel sometimes that if my car becomes too comfortable for me, it could be a distraction and my safety may be on the line. All I need is for my back to be supported, for me to be able to be seated, for me to adjust the seat to the point that my leg is angled the way it needs to avoid strain. All those little basic things. But when I see people investing so much in luxury stuff, and sometimes I'll be a part of that passenger squad, and someone asks you, oh yeah, what does this do? What is that button? What does this and that mean? And you say, I don't know, and you've had this vehicle for more than a year or two. What are you wasting your money on? It's your money. I don't give a damn. But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes people feel like they have to make certain decisions because it's what's in their best interest. It's what's better suited for them. But in the grand scheme of things, you're just wasting so much money. It's no different than devices. Some people really like to buy the most expensive of the most expensive because it's the newest thing, it's the best performer, everything. But all of a sudden, you don't even use it to its maximum capacity, nowhere close, and then the new one comes out and you're falling prey to that new one. And your old one that was like at the top of its game, you never even fully enjoyed it yet. And all you did was like continue to shell out money. I recently made a decision like that. I was like, you know what? I'm getting ready to get something. I'm going to get the best of the best because it just makes sense to do so. But then when I thought about it, I told myself, what are my real needs? What are my intentions? What is actually my purpose and my goal? And then I realized that I was able to obtain something that made me perfectly happy, perfectly satisfied, and I ended up saving a lot of money. And I am so happy that something that I had a little bit of doubt about, especially on the financial department, it turned out to be a very good thing. So with cars, it's the same thing. What is comfort? What is a long drive? What is a beautiful car? To me, anything that's new is inherently beautiful because it's going to be shiny, excellent condition, clean inside, outside. Now, it is possible to design an ugly car in the exterior, but you can look beyond that and be like, you know what? Freshly waxed, fresh out of the factory, impeccable. So that's what I mean, you guys. I thought I would put this out there because I notice a lot of people who drive these crazy luxury vehicles, and when I look at their faces, sometimes they exit out of the vehicle and they have like this serious stressed face. Whereas with me, even if I'm having a bad day, I always feel the same way I felt the very first time I sat on the driver's seat of my car. And I'm like, you know what? I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative that this thing still works the same. And even though it's been 10 years now, I don't have a desire of replacing it. I don't feel inferior. I don't feel like I'm falling behind in the automotive times because my car is the basic version of a specific model and it doesn't have all these shiny displays and support modern day cellular devices. You know, like I'm fine. So that's what I wonder about people who really feel compelled to stay with the times? Does it really make you happy? Are you really enjoying your investment? Or is the new one that conquers you already knocking at the door? And you're planning to leave behind the current one, which you didn't even fully get to enjoy. See what I mean? Anyways, you guys, I thought I would put this out here. Please let me know your thoughts, because this is one of those things that I've observed for a long time, and I just never really knew how to put my mind together and how to say it, but now it's out there.